If you want to change your life, the biggest thing you can do, even bigger than starting the gym, is to move to a different place. You can change your self-image and how you feel instantly by moving to a new country or a new city. The problem is some of us don't want to leave behind everything we know, and it may seem either expensive or scary. I'm going to tell you how I left a small hometown with negative people and no opportunity to a place where I now have everything that I want and I'm happy and developing myself. So I'm from a small town just over an hour away from London. Before I was 18 it wasn't so bad. I had boxing and there was a bunch of people that were my age. I had my friends from school and we'd go out, and even after turning 18 we'd all go out in a massive group with loads of people and we had a lot of fun. The problem is after this point it started to get a lot worse. People started moving for jobs and for uni, and over time there was just less and less people. And before the people is what made my experience good. The town doesn't have like an arcade or a cinema or live music or anything like that. There's a few pubs and restaurants and there's one club, but a lot of the people in the town are just older. It got to the point where I had to start looking for a job and find out what I actually wanted to do in life. I was working in construction, and so one idea was just to be a bricklayer, maybe move out to a place in town and do that. The thing is, I fucking hated this job. It was so much hard work. It was physically, mentally exhausting. Basically any job that I looked at just didn't really appeal to me. I knew it wouldn't make my life happy and I didn't really want progression in that area. So when I was 20 I considered going to uni for the first time, and I started looking at places with a foundation year. This means you can go to uni without any qualifications. I was making music at the time and I was passionate about that, so I decided to study music. Over the summer I prepped for uni, and then in September I ended up moving to Sheffield. I lived in the centre of a big student city, and straight away I had way more social life and everything was way more interesting. I went from a place with no cinemas to a place with 6 different cinemas. I went from a place where you knew everyone that was your age to meeting new people from all over the world. I joined boxing at uni. It was a massive club where we had socials and you're training with a bunch of people that are your age. Also, everyone's ambitious, they're doing things in life and they're a bit more interesting. It would be a lie to say that my hometown was full of negative people, because people are generally very nice. It's just the fact that they're not as ambitious or maybe doing things that are the same path that I want to do, which is developing myself. So now it basically felt like I had all the options and now it was just on me to work hard. This made it way easier to meet friends, and I dated a bunch of girls that were as good looking as the most pretty girls from my hometown, and it felt like they were just never ending. There's so many thousands of people, you're not going to be able to meet them all. And I made so many memories, there's just no way I'd be able to make all those memories back home. It's not just that I'm making more fun memories now, the grind is also more fun. I go to a really cool MMA gym with loads of people. I usually do my work in a park or in a hotel lobby, and it's way nicer than being cooped up inside or at some random coffee shop. Every time you move to a new place, you grow as a person, you absorb some of the culture that you're around. Next year I'm planning on doing loads of traveling and just moving all over the world and trying out this experience all over again. So if you're currently living at home and you're not sure how to move out, I'm going to give you some practical steps which you can follow. And if you like this style of content, check out my mental health course. It's the first link in the description. I talk all about physical, mental health and life setup to have the best life possible. The first step is that you need some kind of income. So if you're living in a place, you need to be able to afford rent, transport, food and the gym. At a minimum, you need about £1,000 a month, or £1,500 if you really want to be comfortable. There's 3 main ways that you're going to be able to afford this. The first is a student loan. Honestly, if you're of university age and you're from a small town like me and you're not really sure your next step, this is something that I'd recommend. People kind of shit on university saying that you don't learn anything, but I believe you learn independence, you learn life setup, and the experience you get from meeting loads of people I think is invaluable. Before coming here, it would have been easy to procrastinate the move forever and then never do it, but now that I've moved out, I can never go back to living at home. If you go to uni, you get a student loan which supports your living. You might get a part-time job as well, but generally you've got money to support your social life. Of course, that's for a certain type of person, but it's definitely an option worth considering and knowing. The second, and probably the main one, is a job. Whether you're qualified to do a particular job or you can just get any sort of job, something that you enjoy and makes enough to cover your expenses, this is a good option. I'd give this advice to someone that has no major goals and feels that they need quite a big change in life. If you're already working but you're not super passionate about it, or you're just being lazy and not working and you're in some town, then it's worth it to just get any job and move to a city. Because if you're making some money but not really enjoying your life, then what is the point? You need to at least be in a place where there's an opportunity for you to enjoy your life and to be able to do everything that you want to do. There's other options too, like having an apprenticeship, or you can just train to get a job. You can get a personal training qualification in just a couple months. So making the move and reshaping your career will give you a different life path because you have something new to focus on in a new place. The third is an online business. I specify online business because that is what's going to give you time and location freedom. Particularly if you live abroad, a lot of the times you can't get a job in that country. If you can make money online, your work is wherever you bring your laptop. Places like Thailand have a digital nomad visa where if you're making a certain amount, you're allowed to just move in the country for like a year, where a normal person would only be able to move for 90 days. We're in an age where this is becoming more and more common, so definitely look into all the options for making money online, whether that's through posting content online or video editing or social media marketing, anything like that. Whatever you can level up to start living the life that you want to live financially. That's how you get the funds. Now you need to pick a place which has the lifestyle that you want to live. So everyone has different needs. You might want to live somewhere that's on the beach. You might want to live somewhere with a really good job market. Maybe you want to be somewhere with a good nightlife. It depends on what's important to you currently, whether that's business or socializing or whatever. This could be moving into the city that's half an hour away from you. It could be the city that's across the country, and it could even be moving to a new country altogether. In whatever city you've chosen, find a good area to rent, which is a comfortable distance so you can get to all the stuff that you want to get to. If possible, I'd advise getting a house share, which is furnished. A house share just means you're in a house which has around 6 bedrooms with just loads of people renting one room with a shared kitchen area. This means it's about half the price, and also if you have good flatmates, those become your best friends and it makes life a lot more enjoyable. Furnished means it comes with all the basics like a bed and a wardrobe and a microwave, and you just need to get your own things like utensils and bedding and a nice beanbag to record your YouTube videos. Once you've moved in, it's time to set up your life, so you get to explore in the city and trying out loads of new stuff. So join a gym, start your job, start going to classes and meeting people. Find groups of people who share your interests, whether that's in person or you meet online and then arrange to meet up in person. Over time, just build your life up more and more until it's one that you enjoy. And now you're independent, you moved out, and you enjoy your life more in the present, and you have better control of your future, and it's more rewarding working on yourself. If you're thinking about saving up before you move out, you can, but I'd be careful. If you're unhappy now, you really want to delay making a change, you want action as soon as possible, so I'd suggest don't bother saving for more than a year. If it means it's another year of being unfulfilled and not making progress, it's not worth the money that you're going to be able to save. If you need to save another 10k to be able to afford a rental property that you're going to be able to rent out to other people, then fair enough, because it's easier to do that when you don't have other expenses. But that's a means to an end. You're working now so that you have more freedom in the future, but you need to have a clear goal that you're trying to achieve for that. So those are my tips. I give loads of advice like this in my mental health course, which I mentioned is the first link down below. If you check it out, there's some really valuable stuff in there. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.